Anovim, anovim, Higei Azman, Higei Azman, Geulaschem, V'mein atem aminim, V'mein atem aminim, V'yov v'yoish Anovim, anovim, Higei Azman, Higei Azman, Geulaschem, V'mein atem aminim, V'mein atem aminim, V'yov v'yoish Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Breakfast sponsors, beautiful breakfast by Melech Klein in memory of Yisrael Dov HaKohen, Shmukler. Beryl Shmukler, the famous Beryl Shmukler, Chavdal Tzion Tashim Peidal, and his daughter, Leah Leinu Rivki. I knew them both very well. Chavches Iyar. This is my sister-in-law's uncle and cousin. You know them also, yeah. He did a daf. Beryl is a big part of our daf. Extend your schus, share a parsha. Matching donation. Some people want to share, some people don't want to share. And it's all good. We're not pushing anybody to share. Share the Sefer you sponsored as well. Let us know that we can add yours to the list. So I'm just going to read column 2. And this, if you don't see your name here, it doesn't mean you're not on the list. It just means there are a lot of lists. This is just a sample. L'mashal, Amudim, I'll just give you an example. Amudim, there's, out of 245, there's only 69 available. So, and this is, so obviously this is not all the people that took the Amudim. David Pinchas, I'm in the second column. David Pinchas Berkovitz. And Amud is $720. You get your name on the mantle. Anything above $720 is on the mantle. And also it's going to be right here on the base medrash. Right here, something beautiful. David Pinchas Berkovitz. Eli Asher. Elliot Samuels. Elliot Hagler. Help me out with the names here. Iran Aviram Avivi. Gabriel Savin. Glenn Bond. Harry Salem. Hershey Bash. Hertzka Engel. Hillel Boyer. Wow. This is a good one for me. Because now I know he's still on the daf. Isaac Traeger. He's been doing the daf for years. Isaac Traeger. Isaac Weinstock. Jacob Gandhi. Gandhi. Jeff Zuckerman. Joel Zupnik. Joshua Gold. Kobe Goldschmidt. That's our Hebrew editor, one of the editors. So he's giving back. Lazar Waldman, he wants to be part of it. Rabbi says everybody should be part of it, even if it's a word. Everybody. Leonard Oberstein, Levi Drew, Mark Schmerler, Mark Schmerler, Mark Kamen, Martin Brown, Mayor Braun, Martin Braun, Mayor Getz, Menachem Bronner, Mendel Lerner, all in caps. I don't know why he's all in caps, but Mendel Lerner.
Big deal.
All right, he gave me a Shmek Tabak, the Hasidische style. Was noch? We'll do this. We saw. Dear Belly, we are sponsoring the breakfast today. Chavdazim in memory of our dear friend of over 46 years, Beryl Schmuckler. The name may sound familiar because he was the uncle of your brother Rafal. He loved doing the daf, and his wife said that he was one of the first to sign up for it. We're also sponsoring in memory of their wonderful daughter Rivki, who's nifter on Chav Chesiyar this year after a long illness at the very young age of 48. May the neshama be a meilitz yoisher for the families in Klal Yisrael, Milty and Leah Klein. P.S. I would like to give a shout out to our nephew Ari Davis of London, England, a staunch Reb Eli supporter. Happy 11th birthday, Mayor Reiser of North Woodmere. Listen to this, an 11-year-old hasn't missed a daf in over a year and a half.
Wow.
Mayor is a grandson of our MDY Chaver Kobe Moses.
6 years old, he started doing that.
We have younger. Friends, check this out. Chaim Meyer flew overseas, and during the flight, he didn't waste any time. He chazered 11 dapim of Gemara. After landing, he went to pick up his rental car, and then a special surprise was waiting for him. Look at the license plate he got. It says, Kiss from Hashem, Chaim Meyer Dushinsky. Now, I don't want to ruin his Kiss from Hashem, but 9,999 people in New York got the license MDY, because that was where they're holding right now. They're holding in the MDY. Tomorrow it's MDZ, I guess, 0001. So, no, but it's a beautiful thing. There was one thing here I saw. I don't know. No, that we saw. There was something else that caught my attention. It was just a simpler thing. Okay, Rabbi Isai, we have a lot to catch up, so we got to do this fast. Official edition MDY Shas, the Masechta. The sponsor of the whole blue official edition Shas is by Zev and Yal Sholhoff. Daf Mem, Glenn Bond. Oh, I just saw his name on the Amud. In gratitude to Rebbe Eli, the MDY team, and my Eishes Chayil Sheva Leo, 1,800 Dafim. Givaldik. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Meir, Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doi, Zechron Livrocha, E. Kapier, the Palchik Family Foundation, gratitude to the Consortium and the Alliance, and all they do is support MDY. Anonymous, and thank you to Chief Benny. Anonymous for complete refuah shleima and arichas yom to Leah Bas Esther, B'yom Daniel Rosenfeld, Brias V'Simcha, monthly Aryeh Simon refuah shleima Avi Meir Baruch Ben Miriam. Anonymous refuah shleima for Reb Yeruchem Ben Yehudis and Avram Yishaya Ben Slava Dvora. Amen. We missed you so much. You have no idea that tsar you caused us. You weren't here yesterday. You don't understand. You don't understand. There are people that are davening for a war because of you. The Spanish Shir sponsors Mazel Tov to the MDY family on this incredible Sefer Torah initiative. May Torah, you and Levi Friedman, two people. Levi, how was your day off yesterday?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. You still, I see you have leftover simcha from that day. The Spanish Shir sponsors Mazel Tov to the MDY family on this incredible Sefer Torah initiative. May Torah keep growing across the world and in Spanish-speaking communities. Shmuel and Ahuva Schuster, in memory of Hayalda Shendel Herzberg, Olea Shalom. Zevanemi Nevo, how do you pronounce? Nevo. Zevanemi Nevo and family. Adina Liba Bazev Chaim, Olea Shalom, a 4-year-old girl who shook up the world with her ptira. May she be a Melis Yoshev Klai Yisrael. Golda Hoffman for the refuah shleima of Ruvain Elio Ben Dvaira. Yisrael Mordechai Belosh, the Nishmas Zkeni Reb Avram Doiv Ben Reb Nisim Zechitzak Livrocha, Chof Hei Sivin Tavshem Pei. Daily sponsors Yossi Moskowitz in celebration of the Hanachas Tefillin of my son Shalom, a fellow MDY Talmud since Sanhedrin. Avram Rosenberg for the refuah shleima of our 1-year-old Yisach Doiv Ben Esther Fega surgery today. Refuah shleima. MDY Kids sponsors Innovations LLC as Chusfar Kiv Simcha Ben Fega and Rivka Yehudis Bas Yafachaya. MDY Art for the month. For Shlema Yehonat Anetam Ben Beshav Bracha. For Shlema Ben Mordechai Ben Esther. The Fus Hayelad Daniel Zev Ben Hayelad Esther. Rabbi Yisai, here we go. We're Daf Lametes Amud Aleph all the way in the top. 6 lines from Amud Beis. Lametes Amud Beis all the way in the top. Shchata 6 lines from the top. If everybody behaves and doesn't ask a lot of questions, we should finish today's daf. Shchata.
I don't understand.
A person shechs, doesn't say anything, doesn't make any indication that it's avodah zarah, and then afterwards he thought about avodah zarah, and the question is, did he think avodah zarah thoughts during the shechita? This was the Maisa in Caesarea. They didn't paskin. Rav Moshe Feinstein brings this Gemara and says that sometimes a Rav doesn't paskin. You don't always have to be makel, you don't have to be machmer. Like, let's say a Rav doesn't know. So you shouldn't say, okay, you shouldn't be machmer. I don't know. In certain situations. I don't know when and I don't know where, but from here you see this idea of, no, you didn't come out with a psak, not a isser, not a het. What should we do? In the Mishnah it says, the Rabbanon say that we don't we're not concerned for the machshava of the owner, the guy. If a Jew does shchita, perhaps the guy inserted his machshava of Avodah Zarah. We're not concerned. So therefore, I can't say that it's also because I'm not concerned. Loheter mishum kvoidei de Rabbi Eliezer, and also we have the reverse. We have Rabbi Eliezer in the Mishnah that says that stam machshava of a guy is for Avodah Zarah. So the Gemara, what's the connection? What's the two different cases? Dilmat kan lekamera banon hasam in our Mishnah. We never heard a word from the guy about Avodah Zarah. We don't know if he's an Avodah Zarah or not. Aval hacha the shamana the chashiv. By the zrika we heard him say that he wants to do zrika for Avodah Zarah. Isn't this it's obvious that if he's thinking about Avodah Zarah all the way by the zrika, so he obviously had this thought of Avodah Zarah in the beginning by shchita. Inami. Or you could say, in the Mishnah, Rabbi Eliezer says that of course he was talking about Avodah Zarah, because you're talking about a non-Jew, idol worshiper. The stam Avodah Zarah, because the typical idol worshiper is thinking about Avodah Zarah. So Mela, I'm going to insert his machshava into the shechita. Ava Yisrael over here, the guy is Jewish. Maybe he became a not goodnik guy. He became an Avodah Zarahnik all the way at the end. But he wasn't. By the shechita, he was not a mummer. Oh, I'm going to find a soifoi moichiach atchilasoi from somebody completely different, Reb Shimon Gamliel. And in order to understand which Reb Shimon Gamliel, we're going to go through two and gishmakas sugyas. Again, a person shechted, a Jew. At the end, he said it's l'shem avodah zarah. Did he mean this all the way in the beginning when he shechted? And you can see from Reb Shimon Gamliel that you say if you find something out at the end, it indicates what his thought process was in the beginning. Hey, Reb Shimon Gamliel, which one is it? Eli Reb Shimon Gamliel the Gitin. We find this by the get. Famous story in Masechtas Gitin. It's not. Habari sha'amar kisvu get li'ishti. Somebody who was healthy. He's not showing any signs of disease. He's a regular healthy guy. And he says, write a get to my wife. What's missing here in this lashon? He doesn't say tnu. He doesn't say give. He says write. And they go ahead and they write. They even give. No, not a good get. He's playing games with her. He's joking around. She's begging for a get. Why is she begging for a get? Because she had her brother-in-law over for a Shabbos meal. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good. The guy hasn't showered in 3-4 weeks. He's socially off. He's not what she's looking for. And she's worried. She's very worried. She's worried this guy, her husband is going to die. And look what's going to happen. It's going to be a disaster. So she begs her husband for a get. So he says, she talks so much, she begs so much, as Rashi. She keeps on talking. He said, get off my back. Here, I'm going to, kiss you, write a get for my wife. Famous Maisa, a guy comes home after a long day at work. He tells his wife, what's for dinner? She says, I'll tell you the truth. Today I was not feeling well. No dinner. She says, what a shame. I was planning on taking you out tonight, and we're going to go to the mall. We're going to go shopping. And she says, no, I'm just joking. I'm feeling just fine. She says, I'm also just joking. Sometimes the husband plays games. It's a good game. You want a divorce? Yeah, I'll give you a divorce. Baruch Hashem, I'm getting a divorce. No. Joking around. There's a story. Listen to the story. Terrible story. He tells the Eidim, he says, go ahead and write a get for my wife. And they gave it to her. They listened. He goes up to the roof, and he dies. Oh, here it's coming. Let's understand what happened. What's the story? And based on what happened with this fall, we will know that 2 days ago when he said Kisvu get lishti, was he serious or was he joking? And that's a case of soifay metchilachat chilasay. From the end of the story, let's see the entire story, and by the end, we could understand his thought process. Or Rav Shimon Gamliel, imatz nofal.
With it before he died.
They gave it before he died. I said they gave it. Yeah, they gave it, and then va'ola lagag v'nofal v'meis. You can't give a get after you die, right? That's 100%. It doesn't. Adam cannot give. So says the Gemara, imatz nofal. If he jumped off the roof, harei a get. Then it's obvious. Why did he tell the Adam kisu get liishti, and he forgot to say the word tenu, because he was planning something terrible. Ma'abadatz miladas v'maruach dochatoi in a get. But if some other thing happened, you could tell that he didn't jump, he fell off by mistake, then it's a get. Sorry, it's not a get because obviously he didn't want to divorce his wife. He didn't want to die. He had no reason. So why did he say tnu get, kisu get? He wanted to keep her quiet, stop begging for a get. My solicitor, what are you giving me a story of a guy that fell off a roof, and that's a contradiction to what we said before. Because before we said that if a person says, write a get to my wife, and he didn't say the word tnu, it's not a get, and it doesn't say over there, oh, well, it depends if he committed suicide or not. It doesn't say where it depends. It's not a get finished. So the Gemara says, Chesuri Mechsera, it's obvious what was going on over there. It depends. If there's a clear indication at the end of the story what this individual was intending, did he really mean for a get, then it's a good get. And I'll even prove it to you from a story. When the Gemara says Chesuri Mechsera, it doesn't mean that literally words are missing. It just means those who understand. And for the guys that need a little help and explanations, I'll explain it to you. It's obvious when I say a story like that, at the end, I'm not coming to contradict myself. I'm coming to explain myself. And I'm adding another caveat. Is that a word?
Yeah, good.
There's another little piece over here that's missing. There's another
Layer.
It's like a footnote in the art scroll.
Oh, like a footnote in the art scroll that you should have understood by yourself. Gewaldig. That what? If this was intended, you see that the guy had a very serious plan here. There's a cheshbon here. Get on Sunday, jump off the roof on Monday. It goes together. So the jumping off the roof has to do with writing the get. If you jumped, it's a get. There's a little bit of a video here. This is the guy that Yankville Tzayid Yonas, the pigeon hunter. Bring me get now. That's not ma'atzmai. That was a mistake. Says the Gemara, "V'dil mashani hasam." You never know which one ruffles the feathers.
Sometimes you know. Ruffling feathers, you don't know.
V'dil mashani hasam. The Gemara kisvu.
Proud. We're proud.
It's your time, his time. Ari is cooing with joy.
Better a bird in hand.
I'll remind you guys what I'm a bet yesterday.
Huh?
I'll remind you guys what I'm a bet yesterday.
Says the Gemara, what's the raya from this case? The soifai hoichiach tchilasoi, the end shows what his intent was in the beginning is different than our case. What happened in our case? The guy was quiet during the shechita, and by the zrika, step 2, all of a sudden he starts talking about the zara. And we want to know, did he mean that also by the shechita? Over here it's different. Over here a guy says, write a get to my wife. Now you're saying that he didn't really mean it. he was faking, he was joking. But he did step 2, and from step 2 you see he wasn't joking. Okay, but there was a step 1. Step 2 and step 1 go together. Over here, he never said anything. You don't know what he meant. And just because there was an indication, he started talking about Avodah Zarah in step 2, doesn't mean that he meant that in step 1. You're right, okay, fine. We're moving on. It's another Rav Gamliel. The Sanya. A guy is about to die, even not about to die, but let's say he's dying, even a Masukah. So he's getting ready. He's how do they say it? Taking care of business. Like he's organizing. He's organizing his affairs. Exactly, mamish like that. Organizing his affairs before he goes. So he says, I want to give Reuven all my slaves. Reuven says, I don't want slaves. I already had a slave. It was a terrible experience. I don't want a slave. If this Reuven guy, the receiver, if he's a kohen, too bad on Reuven. He gets the slave. Not only that, the slave starts eating truma like a kohen. We have to understand why. The Gemara is going to explain. There's no such thing. If Reuven says, I don't want a slave, so he doesn't get a slave. The guy taking care of his affairs and he dies, so the Yerush gets it. Or if he didn't die, he himself keeps it. But we ask the question, I don't understand. If Reuven says, I don't want a slave, you could force him to take your slave? No way. You're right. If he's screaming, I don't want it, there's no way you can force him to have it. If he's quiet and then he starts screaming, there's something called if I try to acquire a Lamborghini for you, it becomes yours. If 10 minutes later you say you don't want it, it's too bad, it became yours, because a normal person would want something like a slave. Keep ligi. It's too fancy for me. But you can sell it. If I gave you a free Lamborghini, you wouldn't take it, even to sell it off on eBay.
It's like when your shver gives you very expensive clothing that can only be dry clean for the kids.
That happened to you once?
Never happened.
Keep ligi. So I know. So basically, every time the shirt comes, you put them on and you tell the kids be careful with it, but they never wear it. I got it. Keep ligi shezika the acher. So he tells Shimon, I want you to acquire the slave for Reuven, and Reuven is standing right there watching this whole thing. V'shasak, and he's quiet. Ulebesoiv tzavach, and then he starts screaming. Tanakam esavam in the shasik. That's what it says. Okay. When the star comes, that makes sense. When the star comes, then he starts screaming. Tanakama says, wait, why was he quiet? The first 5 minutes he was quiet. Obviously, he wanted it then. Now, later on, he started screaming. So then, afterwards, he had a charata. So this is the Rav Shimon Gamliel that says that you can see from the end what his intent was in the beginning. That what? He didn't want it. You see, he didn't want it, and he didn't want it in the beginning. So what's Pshat? He didn't scream in the beginning. What's the point of screaming and stop making commotion? When it becomes mine, I get the star, then I'm going to make him a chah. And now sugi also. When a person shechs, and then afterwards he does zrika. So from the fact that he started screaming Avodah Zarah in the end, it's obvious what he meant. In the beginning it was Avodah Zarah. Okay, end of that. Rabbi Yehuda Shmuel halacha ki Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi says that an owner cannot insert his thought of Avodah Zarah into the shechita, not in the Beis Hamikdash, not outside of the Beis Hamikdash. If an owner wants to make a pigul, it doesn't work. It's only the kohen. So that's the end of the story. That's what we paskin. Says the Gemara, Ma'aseh Shahaya, Hanu Tayoy, the Asul Tzikuna. There were these Arabs that came to Tzikunya. Yovdichel Tabachei Yisrael. They come in with animals, and they tell the The Shoiched, they say here, take these animals. We only want the parts that are for Avodah Zarah. We want the blood, we want the fats. We want to put it on the, give it to Avodah Zarah. Mashcho bisra, but the hides and the meat, the good stuff, liditchu, you take it. So it's interesting. Because are you allowed to go into a mizgad? How do you say mizgad in English? A mosque. Are you allowed to go into a mosque today?
Yeah.
So, l'chayri, yes, the Rambam paskins that Yishmaelim are not Avodah Zarah, it's not Avodah Zarah. They believe in one God, they don't believe in a shutuf, they don't, so it's not a problem, versus a church, let's say. So, over here it seems like that they were Ovid Avodah Zarah. So the answer is that it's before their prophet came along. Before their prophet came along, they did believe in Avodah Zarah. Okay? So now we have a problem of Avodah Zarah. It's their animal. It's their animal. We even had in the Mishnah, Rebbe Eliezer, who was it? Rebbe Eliezer, I think it was, says even if the guy owns a small part, like the diaphragm, the skirt steak, that's enough to ruin it. It's Avodah Zarah, he's a partner. Over here, he owns 100%. And he's going and he's giving to the Jew. He says, you Jew, you do everything. Chop it up, just give me the fats and the blood, and the rest is yours. I'm going to put the rest for Avodah Zarah. Could the Jew eat it? Based on what we just said, the halach is like Rabbi Yossi, that the owner cannot insert his machshava of Avodah Zarah into an animal. A live animal cannot be Avodah Zarah. That, if a Jew has a live animal, says, Shepsela, you're Avodah Zarah, nothing. The only time a Jew can insert the Avodah Zarah is during the Shechita. I'm shoyich of Avodah Zarah, then Zivchei Mesim. The owner of the guy can't say that this sheep of his is Avodah Zarah. It doesn't work. Elamai, he's relying on the Jew to do the Shechita, and when the Jew is doing the Shechita, the Ishmael is going to say, oh, Avodah Zarah, Avodah Zarah, Avodah Zarah. The Rebbe says it doesn't work. So if it doesn't work, then I have a kosher Shechita here, and I can use the animal. V'meila, Shalcha Rav Toivi by Rav Masna l'Kamed Rav Yosef. They asked Rav Yosef, Kagavnamai, what's the story here? Shalach leis, he sent back, Hocham Rav Yulam Shmuel. This is what Shmuel said. Halacha Rav Yosef. The halacha is that the guy cannot insert his machshava, and therefore it's a kosher shechita. Okay, so that's the end of that story. So Rav Acha tells Rav Ashi, Rav Eliezer, Yovli Zuzah l'tabach Yisrael mai. Time in the Gemara, we see it a few times, that a person owned an animal. It wasn't like today, you come to the store and you have ready-made steaks, I want that piece, I want that piece. There's an animal in the shtetl, and everybody gave a little bit of money towards the animal, and then he shechted it and you got your piece. So a non-Jew goes ahead and he gives money to the butcher. He gives money to the butcher. He says, I want a piece. I want that steak. Does his money become a partnership? If he's a partner, according to Rebbe Eliezer, we're talking about in the Mishnah. Rebbe Eliezer says even if he owns a small, tiny piece of the animal, like the diaphragm, that's enough to ruin the whole animal. Over here, he didn't own a piece. He gave money towards a piece. Is that considered a partnership or not? Yeah, pretty much. It's a new chiddush in Hilchos Kinyanim here. I need to take a look. I need to see. If he's a tough guy, then what? That you can't give back the money's stuck by you, then you're stuck. If you can't get out of it, and the money, he already paid for it, he was kind of like Bekesef, now he has a kinyan in it. You can't push him off also. If he's a Nebuch, little guy with broken glasses, he's a garnished, a flimsy guy, all you do is Reishach Vahar. You see that mountain? You see your head? Take the two and knock them into each other. That's the Lashon. Go bang your head in the wall. Oh, we have a video. We have a Pashat. So you thought.
When you slaughter her, give me meat of this value.
I came for my meat.
No. Take your money and go bang your head on a mountain.
All right. The pshat is you don't understand. Sometimes you don't understand.
Well, your attitude is safe daita.
Rashi says that either or.
What?
Either the money or the bet.
Rashi holds either bring your head on the mountain.
How do you know? When do you have time to look at the Rashi?
At the credits at the end of the AI.
It's going to be mutter.
Yeah, what? That he could give his money back?
Tell him that.
What?
Take your money back.
What are you saying? Either what? Bring your head in the mountain.
Take your money back, then bring your head.
Yeah, another. Right. The other guy you can't give him his money back. This guy you could give the money back. So if you could give the point is the money. If you could, if you could give the money back, it shows that he's not a shutuf. All right. What is the largest thing that's alive that has like a chiyus to it in this world?
A whale like that.
Vyasa. What's the smallest thing?
Mouse.
Adam's not alive, but like a virus, like a germ. A germ is much smaller than a virus. Okay, so says the Mishnah like this. Oh, who?
Giant sequoia tree is the biggest thing. Much bigger than
Bigger than a whale?
It is living. Plus it's living.
Yeah, it's a tzimach. It's not
Have a leviathan, have a rain. There's plenty of things that are bigger. Rain? Bigger than an apple.
a whale is but alive right now. A whale is what 300 feet long, or that's exactly 150. What's a blue whale?
100 feet.
No, that's it. It's just 100 feet long. The heart is like 8 feet tall. Yeah, bigger than a bus. Okay, only 100 feet. Okay, I thought it's a little bigger. Hashoichet l'shem harim. Oh, do me a favor. Are you able to? How much?
80 to 100 feet.
Send that video. I want to insert it. Chaval from Itzik Leibovitz. He's at Harim Ugvais, the one that he sent yesterday. Send it to him quickly. To Gary. Gary put it in. Saint Anton. He's in between Switzerland and Austria. He's in the place that we're going to. To remind the Olam. The Olam complains and then they complain again. No matter what we do, they complain. They complain that I didn't tell them and they can't go on my trips and it's exclusive. It's only for snobs and this. So I say, okay, I'm opening up to the web. It's too expensive. It's too this. It's too that. And why? Okay. The Olam is invited. I'm not doing a trip. Don't come to me. Don't do it, but I'm going there. The other wants to be there, I'll be there. Some guy called up yesterday. He says, I want to travel 9 hours from Belgium all the way with a whole bunch of chevra. Are they going to let us into the hotel? So Noam told him that based on what happened with other people, I don't think so. But you should go speak to the hotel. Halavai. I'll be happy if they come. But 9 hours, wow, that's a long drive. They want to drive from Belgium straight, 9 hours. For one chair. Yeah, if Yossi K was there, it would be 3.5. 3.5 hours max. Hello, but without the smoking, you might be slower. Slide 31. Okay, here we go. Rabbi, so here it is. If you want it seriously, this is why I go to these places. It's nervayim. I mean,
שרואים את זה, היום משנה מתחיל השייכת לשם אורים, לשם גבויס, לשם נאורויס.
this is a nahar.
שרואים את הדבר הזה, חבר'ה, אפשר להבין בדיוק על מה שהמשנה מדברת. לא משנה על הנהר, או על השר של הנהר, של הערים אלו, הגבוהות. חבר'ה, עכשיו אפשר להבין את זה.
No, you gotta look at this screen. That screen. That screen. I'm looking at the dull one.
אם לא הבנתם, תיקחו מטוס, תבואו לפה, נדריך אתכם לפה. כשאתם רואים את זה, אפשר להבין על מה המשנה מדברת. מה אתה משתחווה להר? לנהר? מה יש בנהר? אבל תראו את היופי, תראו מה אלוקים ברא בעולם הזה. תראו מה זה, חברים, תראו מה זה הדבר הזה.
Oh, let me explain to Belsky. Hold on. Mati, what he's saying is, why would a person want to bow down to a mountain? When you see this beauty, you can understand it. I'll tell you something else. The taiva of Avodah Zarah is something that we'll never understand. The only way to understand it is say,
you see this? This is your sacrifice.
Chachamim daven that there shouldn't be a taiva for Avodah Zarah.
You.
Do we battle it? we could understand, if we want to understand, then we have to understand why do we have a taiva for our rights. It's also something that doesn't make any sense logically. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu inserted a taiva, and that's it. We operate on HaKadosh Baruch Hu's taiva. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu inserted a taiva for Avodah Zarah, which took the best of the best. The biggest G'daylim Olam, were Ovid Avodah Zarah. So you ask a question: How do you go from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to a mountain? So also it can mean the malach of the mountain, the sar of the mountain, the ruchnis behind the mountain, the ruchnis behind the water. But we'll never understand it. It's just HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mevatel it. So just understand that people that were a lot greater than us were nichshal in it. Hashoicha l'shem harim, l'shem gevayis. This is machlokes what a har and what gevaya is. Is gevaya more higher than a mountain? A lot of people say that gevayis are the highest mountains in the world. The Vilna Gaon says gevayis is man-made, so it's probably smaller than harim. L'shem yamim, a person does have a desire to the oceans, l'shem naharais, to the rivers, l'shem midbarais, to the deserts. Shchitasei psula. So if you look at the word shchitasei psula, usually it says there's an isur hana. You're not allowed to benefit. Psula means you're just not allowed to eat this meat. The shchita was done for the mountain. You're not allowed to eat the meat. So we have to understand why is it not severe like a isur hana, like a regular shchita for avodah zarah. Says the Mishnah, Shnayim moichzim b'sakim v'shoichatim. We're mamish where we need to beat the memon with aleph with 23 minutes left. Shnayim moichzim b'sakim v'shoichatim. Two people holding onto a knife, something like this. The guy on the right is a goy gomer. Well, no, he's not a goy gomer. He's a goy. He's a shvacha goy. He's not a believer. What is he thinking in his mind when he's shechting? Avodah zarah. The guy on the left is a shoichet. He's thinking the right thing. The guy on the right can ruin it. One of them is thinking to the mountains, to the rivers. And the other one is thinking for the proper shchita. One could ruin it for the other. Obviously, if they're both holding two different knives, then the guy shechting l'shem avodah zarah is going to win. But even if he's holding the knife with someone else, the guy that's doing it for kosher doesn't override the guy that's doing it for pasal and pasal. What?
Even if he could do it on his own.
Yeah, because I'm helping you and I'm inserting the avodah zarah in there. Psula in Zivchei Meisim Loi. It seems like from the Mishnah you're only also to eat it, but you're not also bahana. You could benefit from it. Beramini, I don't understand. It says mamish mefurish, the opposite. Hashoicha l'shum harim, l'shum gvais, literally like our Mishnah, l'shum naharais, l'shum midbarais, l'shum chamal levana. This is a little different. If you want, you can look in Taisus over here on the side. Taisus brings the shittas, machlekes Rashi and Taisvus. If the chamal levana are like attached to the galgal, whatever that means, that they're independent. Taisus goes in to say that just interesting stuff, that the sun has 12 malachim in charge of it. Okay? I just received this thing. It was unbelievable. It's fascinating. I watched it like 3 times in a row. Just understand it. He goes to explain what a light year is. Just understand in our musagim what 1 light year away is. And he goes to explain how the closest star is X amount of light years away from us. And then then he goes into the closest galaxy, and then millions of light years away. Millions of light years. Just to understand how far and distant and how vast the universe is. It's just, I'm not doing it justice because I'm not explaining what a light year is and how many millions, and then the other ones are billions, and you could see it with you could see it with the telescope. But it's just, yeah. And then I thought to myself, wow, I know somebody in Chicago who's married to my mother-in-law, who for like a birthday of hers, he went ahead and he surprised her, and through the Society of International Star Registry, thank you, how do you know that? International Star Registry, he bought her a star. Named the star after her. Now there's trillions of stars. Yeah. So they named one after my mother-in-law soll sie sagen, gesund und stark. But I'm thinking to myself, like, Iran also has their own international star registry, and they gave that name to some other guy. Like, Meichet Tesa, you have a bailus on all the stars of the world. Okay? Exactly.
Also, the Prince of Nigeria.
It's like sharing a party. There's multiple people.
Oh, it's like sharing a party. Yeah. Listen, if you tell somebody and you're masking Givaldic, you heard what he just did? Mamasham. By the way, the guy purchasing the Parsha is probably paying more than the original. Because the price is just climbing. It's just a way to give. It's nafkamina. Just a way to be part of it. Says the Gemara, the Mishnah. Oh, no, we're in the Gemara. Person worships a star or a mazel. How do you say mazel in English? Constellation. Lishum Michal Asara Gadol. Oh, so this is the largest thing in the world. This is Michal, the Malach Michal, in charge of the Jews.
It's not in the world,
what?
It's not in the world, Malach.
He's flying around there. Okay. I mean, there's Shadim on the Teva.
Something else.
Malach is...
Malach's not just Shadim. Shadim
okay.
Get married,
It's not, he's saying Malach doesn't...
Out of the world.
Fine. It took me a while to understand. I saw like people donating money, like it always comes through as 101. Like is that like an extra charge at the credit card? Like why is it 101? And then it took me a while. Most people know this, but Sfaradim are very makbid not to give $100 to tzedakah because 100 is Rosh Tevis of Samach Mem, but Michal is 101. So they like giving for Michal 101. Sargo. Lushum shilshul katan. Shilshul is a worm. Here's shilshul katan. So I was mesupik if that was a kiss from Hashem. That yesterday was the first time I ever saw one of those birds that flies around here in Bet Shemesh, the ones that make nice sounds, like they could actually imitate human beings.
Parakeet.
What are they? Minor birds. Minor birds, not parakeet. Minor birds, because my neighbor had one he might still have one, and they could mimic humans and the whole. You know that they make crazy sounds. The regular ones, they make these very... Anyway, comes on my porch and grabs a slug. I think, what are those things that go at night and they leave like a trail of...
Slugs.
I didn't know they eat them. I was very happy actually. Like, wow, I finally did something positive on my porch. I was like this, took him, just started eating him. And then I watched this video, like, Turkey Dibur, and I was like, Hashem, the whole... Each person in their own Kiss Hashem. Yeah. So what? Oh, after all this, if you shecht for a mountain, for this, or for Michal, or for a small little worm, it's zivchei meisim. What's zivchei meisim? Asur bahana. So why does our mission say it's not asur bahana? It's only asur to eat. Omar abayli kashu. Hod omar lahar. Hod omar legad dahar. When you're talking to the mountain, we learned in Avodah Zarah, lehem alaharim, that it's only their gods on the mountain, but not the mountain itself. You can't worship a mountain. But if you're worshiping the god of the mountain, not the god of the mountain, the malach of the mountain, that's something else. The Torah calls the malach of the mountain, the Torah calls it the lashon of a likus. So that's a problem. But it's a malach. I don't know. Yeah, but you're right. The lehus, probably a lehus. Well. No, but it's a lashon of a lehus.
You can't ask her. You can't ask her.
Right. There's nothing to ask her.
So
Daikinami.
a mountain can't be Avodah Zarah.
No. But you did a ma'is of Avodah Zarah. You did a ma'is of Avodah Zarah. Oh, so it's probably no. It's a derabanan. Like it's not. It's derabanan. It's derabanan. It's not. It's obviously not a deraisa. Deraisa is zivchei mesim. Daikinami diktani. Dumya de Michal Saragadol Shmamina. That's why we stuck in here the idea of a malach. Shmamina. Omer Avuna. Okay, so here we go. Beautiful stuff. You have, again, I cannot, and this is today's sugya. Can I go ahead and grab my friend's clock and say, this is Avodah Zarah? It's not mine. Can I do that? No. I cannot take my friend's animal and say, this is Avodah Zarah. The animal's alive. Even my friend can't do it. But what if I take my friend's animal and shecht it for Avodah Zarah? Does it turn into Avodah Zarah? Yeah, I'll owe my friend an animal, but do I have the right to do it? Does a person ask something that's not his? That whole the shiloh, fascinating shiloh, where a guy lights a menorah in a hotel on a chair. So one of the waiters comes and takes it off. Chutzpah in the dining room is going to light a menorah on the dining room chair on a Friday night. We need the chair. It's sakana. Arab guy takes it off. So then we had there's a whole shayla. It was a buses to the menorah, and now the chair mixed in with all the chairs. So maybe you're not allowed to move any chair in it's a whole thing. So they go in. One of the things, as far as they want to say, ain't all them oiser davar she'ein shloi. You can't ask for my chair. There was a maisa shahaya, where a guy used to, it always. I still don't understand. I'm not knocking. But a lot of people, they take like 4 or 5 steps after Shemona Esrei, large steps. They don't go there, and then sideways. The sideways thing always, I never understood it, but it's mamish became a minhag. It wasn't there when I was a kid, but today people go sideways, and to me, I don't know. Akash Baruch was over there, like Kaviyach is in front of you. And then they do sideways, even when they have 40 empty feet behind them. They're going side, like it became like a thing. Like you get so used to it. Fine. This guy goes. He's not going to stand Shemona Esrei between him and the stender. He needs, the aisle. So he stands in the aisle, Shemona Esrei, in Panovich. Every day, the guy, so they ask Rav Shach, are you allowed to walk to the bathroom? You're allowed to go out. He's there. It says in halacha, you're not allowed to disturb somebody that's Dami Shemona Esrei. So he said, Ein adam oiser davar she'ein shloi. He doesn't have the right to answer a public fairway. Thoroughfare. What are you standing there?
Moshe didn't agree with that.
No, there's some Gedalim. Rosh Salanta took a guy and picked him up and moved him to the side.
By the convention, the guy was in front of the door and he would not walk.
By the door?
Yeah, he wouldn't walk in front of him because...
Maybe he didn't have
What?
Fine, I'm just saying with the story.
They say also a story by Ramoshe. He's mentioning a story that there was a kid, Dami Shmones, and he wouldn't do for a kid. But the guy was in the wrong spot. He's by a door. By a door. He Dami Shmones by a door.
The good convention. Ramoshe waited until he finished. He wouldn't walk.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear.
Everyone watched him. You understand? The whole good convention was watching.
And then you have one minute time out. So let me say the other story. You have Rav Salanta. A Bacha stood by the door, and then he picked him up and moved him. He said, "You don't have a right. Don't be a behemoth."
This is about Musar.
Fakert. The Musa would have been the opposite. The opposite. Okay. Fine.
It's a different gisha.
I get it. Anyway, so what does it say here? Listen to this. So we have two tremendous chidushim. Chidush number one, that I could make an animal of a Zarah. Chidush. Chidush number two, I can make my friend's animal of a Zarah. I can go into my friend's backyard without permission and destroy his favorite animal. Make it of a Zarah. How do I see it? So Rashi says beautiful. You see, the Kohanim, they took all the imagine a kli made out of gold. $100,000, $500, who knows how much something made out of gold, a kli made out of pure gold. From the Beis HaMikdash, they took it and they buried it. Why? Because Achaz worshipped it for Avodah Zarah, but it's not Achaz. It's public property. It's owned by the Beis HaMikdash. So you see that a person has the right to insert Avodah Zarah into somebody else's belongings. So I want you to remember this because we're going to be turning the page. It's going to be hard to go back and forth. We have Rav Huna that says that a person shechs an animal that's laying in front of Avodah Zarah, meaning you didn't have to lift him up, because if you lifted him up, maybe there's a kinyan. Not even without a kinyan, nothing. I go shech its neck for Avodah Zarah. Kivin sheshacha bo simin echad asara. I probably didn't even read this. I didn't. Mazla, I went back. Even though he shechted one out of the two simanim, which is not a shechita, that's it. And we're going to see in a second, like Ula, even though bowing to an animal is 0, but doing something negative in the animal, doing a maisa, and the Gemara is going to say it's a kol shehu, even a small little amount, that makes it also. So we have a combination of, it's not even a combination, it's explanation. Rav Huna says, you shecht your friend's animal, you make it avodah zarah. Says Ula, even if you do a little bit, 1 siman, says Rav Nachman, even less than 1 siman, a little nick, but you have to do a maisa. You can't just say or bow, you have to do something physical. Eiser Nachman Rav Huna. Ask Rav Nachman Rav Huna, hashoichin chatas b'Shabbos. If you shecht, it's a riddle. How is a person chayev 3 chatois for doing 1 action? The answer is, if I shecht on Shabbos, shechting is the Issa Deraisa because of Natilas Neshama. You're not allowed to kill something on Shabbos. Bachutz, you're taking a chatas and shechting it outside of the Beis Hamikdash. That's also Issa Deraisa, Karis, another Karis, second Karis, Chiyuv chatas. I shechted a chatas outside of the Beis Hamikdash. You're only allowed to shecht inside the Beis Hamikdash. La'avodah zara, obviously I don't have to tell you that shechting an animal for avodah zarah is Issa Deraisa, it's Karis if you do it by mistake, it's a chatas if you do it by mistake. Chayev shalosh chatais. So let me ask you a question. Let's say a person takes his chatas and he shechts it on Shabbos for avodah zarah in Bet Shemesh. How many chatais is he chayev? Anybody want to answer? What 1? Okay, let me read again. Hashoichet chatos b'Shabbos b'chutz la'avodah zarah chayev shalosh chatos. First shechts the chatos. He takes his chatos and shechts it outside of the Beis Hamikdash on Shabbos for avodah zarah. He's chayev 3 chatos. Okay, let's do this again. Rabbi Isai, if a person shechts a chatos on Shabbos outside of Beis Hamikdash for avodah zarah, how many chatos is he chayev? Wrong. The answer is 4. Because he's chayiv the chatos that he just shechted.
Music to my ears.
Okay. All right. So anyways, the Gemara says chayiv shalish chatos. He's chayiv 3. He's chayiv 3. We have a video here, but whatever. This is a video from one of our better artists, but sometimes. Meroiv that it's super artistic. It's on a very, very high level. But for me, it didn't do much. Oh, that's what you're saying. It's done on a very high level. Oh, hold on. Before I show it. We'll start from here. Because I got to say the next piece to understand what he's saying. It took me, somebody in the shir explained it to me yesterday. Listen to this bomb question. If all you do is shecht 1 siman, and that's enough to make it asur, how could I be chayiv on 3 things? As soon as I start shechting this animal, I'm cutting dirt. What does that mean? I'm cutting dirt? Think about it. When I start shechting, as soon as I start shechting, that's avodah zarah. Once it's avodah zarah, the kachim, the gedusha of this animal flies away, says Rashi. It's paka. So then I never shechted a chatos outside of the Beis Hamikdash because it wasn't a chatos. By the time I got to the second siman, it's like shechting dirt. Here, push play. Let's just continue this quickly. Oh, it goes from the beginning. I would just skip it, but okay. That's only 2. 2 out of the 3 he's trying to show here. Shabbos never is good. It's like mechatech ba'offer. That's what he's trying. That's I didn't chap that. It turns into offer. But also that's the mistake. It's not malika. It's shchita. Okay. Okay, awful. That was the point. Fine. Omer Rav Papa. Over here, very good. We know the nafkamina between a chatas bird and an oila bird. A chatas bird, all you have to do is shecht one siman. So the Gemara tries to say that he shechted one out of the two simanim, and therefore all three things happen together simultaneously. The kulu b'hadei adadi gasi. You have the shchita, you have avodah zara, you have Shabbos all in one shot. Turning to the daf by Dar Global Special International Financial Services by Chaim Milrad. No. It has to be shchita outside of the Beis Hamikdash. There's no maliki outside of the Beis Hamikdash. No, but you took a chatas and you destroyed it. You killed it outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Mirdi Ravuna Kimana Moral Shmaite Kula asked the Gemara a simple question. We said already that Ravuna goes like, I said Rav Nachman before, Ravuna goes like Ula. And what does Ula say? Vula Maisa Koldu Kamar. So we have a problem here. Ula says even a little nick in the neck. So you take a chatas of a bird, that all you have to do is one siman, you're right. But before you got to the one siman, as soon as you tap it with the knife, that's avodah zara. And the shchita only happens when you get Rav Siman, which is a step later. By that time, it's no longer a chatas, it's already avodah zara, poka, the kedusha, and he's shechting a piece of dirt. So for that we have to say that the riddle goes like this. He says specifically, I don't want to be oved avodah zara when I nick it in the beginning. I want to be oved avodah zara at the end of the shchita. And Memela, the avodah zara, and the shchita will come simultaneously. He'll be over on Shabbos. He'll be over on Shchita Chutz. Ihachi, asked the Gemara, Mayir Chatos, L'shmi'inen Zevach. If we're talking about the end of the shchita, so the end of the shchita is no nafkamina between a shlomim and a chatos. If we're talking about the end, there's zero nafkamina. When's the nafkamina? In the beginning. At the end, it could be, why does he take, you know the answer to my riddle? A chatos. No. The answer to the riddle is any carbon in the world. You take a shlomim, and I say, at the end of the shchita, it should be avodah zara. So you have shchita, Shabbos, chutz, all in one shot. Why does it say chatos? Because only in a chatos there's an nafkamina in the beginning. How could you answer me? It happened at the end. It had to happen in the beginning because only in the beginning is the difference. What's the difference? Because the chatos that's another question that we're going to see today. Hopefully we'll get there. Is a chatos considered yours? It's considered the Rebbeinu Shalom's. I bought it for my kapara. Is it mine or not mine? A shlomim is 100% yours. So what's the nafkamina? It is. Since it's yours, so then a kosher, a nick, changes its designation. But if it's not yours, a little tiny nick doesn't do anything. It's not yours. So that's why we say chatos, to show that it's in the beginning. It happened in the beginning when a nick makes the difference between a chatos and a shlomim. Ella ba'omer sorry. Ella omer zudim shmeder Rav Papa my skina can show you chatzi kone pogum. Check this out. The famous we learned this already. Here, look at this bird. This bird Nebuch is walking around with a split trachea. It's not considered a treifa because it's only 50%. You go ahead and take a knife and go from 50% to 51%. So at that moment, you made a shchita, you made avodah zara, you mechal Shabbos, and you did a shchita b'chutz. That's the story here. V'hoisev alav kolshu gemari. Finish it off. The kulu b'alei adadi kasi. It all happened simultaneously. Says the Gemara, Omra Papa, Ilav do Ravuna simin echad, lehave chatas tiyuftei. If the fact that Ravuna didn't mention the word simin echad, and we said that the shot is like ula, that he did a little bit, then we wouldn't have a question from chatas, like I explained before. By chatas, there's an nafkamina between. What was the question from chatas? Why? If you're saying chatas, you say shlamim, but that's only because he said simin echad. That since it's not his, the siman echad doesn't make a difference. The kosher doesn't make a difference. My maisa, I would say, this question, what's an afghan between chatas and it should just say shlamim? I would say my maisa rabba, not a kosher. It has to be a full thing. Papa, So a full means at the end of the shechita. So then there wouldn't be a difference between a chatas and a shlamim. Again, it's a good thing he mentioned a simon. It's a good thing he mentioned chaver, because once he says chaveroi, meaning, then I don't have a kasha. Why is there an afkamina between chatas and shlamim? Same thing that we said before. There's an afkamina because if it's yours, your own, then there's a difference between a nick. It wouldn't make a difference if it's your own. A small nick, even in a chatos, makes it yours. It makes it a shechita right away. The difference is because it's not yours; it's your friend's, and since it's a chatos, you have to have a big ma'isa there. My taima, the day matzi asar, the chaver matzi asar. Says Gemara pshita. What's Rav Papa adding? I think it's a pretty big chiluk. Okay, pshita. Mal the same even the calendar kapar ki the day damya. Since you brought this as a chatas, it's like yours. Kamash malon, and therefore what? If it's yours, even a little bit is enough. A little nick. Kamash malon, no. You need a big ma'isa. Okay, fine. So we'll stop here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.